Hi, my name is Segfault and welcome to my video series on Java programming. This is just going to be an introduction. We'll do a little bit of programming but not a whole lot. I'm just going to explain to you a tool set you can use to start with, and we'll go from there. We're going to start off using Eclipse, which you can get from eclipse.org/downloads, and you can download just a standard edition, or if you know a little more and you're interested in something else, there's a bunch of other editions here you can download. But I suggest just starting with the standard and then pick whether you're 64 or 32-bit. And then you're going to need the Java Developers Kit, so just look for this, and then select your appropriate operating system and download and install both of those. Once those are installed, you can open up Eclipse and you'll come up with this window here. And this is the workstation, workspace we're going to be working with. And let me give you a little introduction to Java. Java is an object-oriented programming language, and we'll get more into what that is a little bit later. But basically, you create and manage objects and run programs from those objects. And Java is a little different than other programming languages. Basically, it has a bit of a strange code structure. What you start out with is a source file, and that's usually what you put classes in. And classes are basically the objects, the definitions for an object, and then those classes have methods, and those methods have statements, and we'll get into more what those things are, but just kind of keep that in mind. Anyway, so I think we should just jump right in and start off with something simple just to kind of get your feet wet. So in Eclipse, what you want to do is hit File, New, Project, and we'll just I did the wrong thing. Java project, excuse me. Yeah, wrong. I clicked the wrong button. And then we'll just name it my first project. And then you can just leave it there, and then hit finish. And then it will bring up your window over here. I have other projects going, so I just show you. It shows up here. These are some other projects I'm working on. But I'm going to minimize that for right now. And then you want to do File, New, Class, and then you want to name it. So we're going to name this my first class. It's a public class. We'll get in more into what that is. And we want the main. And then there we go. Okay, sometimes it doesn't fill it out because I had other projects going, and so sometimes you have to fill it out yourself. But you can just find the source file folder. When you hit New, where it says you saved it, that's where you want to look for your source folder. And then finish, and it'll build the class file and give you just a stub basically to work with. This is called a stub, and we're not going to need any of this stuff here, so let's get rid of that. And you also notice too with Eclipse, it saves some extra stuff that you really don't need, but it's pretty helpful. So we can get more into running your own classes from scratch a little bit later, but I think this is a good way to start out. And so this is a class. You'll notice that the name of the class is right here, what we named the file. And up top it says myfirstclass.java, and that's a Java file. And the name of the class always has to be the same as the name of the file, and the first letter always has to be capitalized. That's how you name and assign classes in Java. Your main function, main method here, that is what runs your program. That's what they call a driver program for your whatever program you write. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put something in here to run. This is what you run with. So we can start out with just printing out something simple, and that's what we'll do today. We'll say system.out.print parentheses semicolon, and then in parentheses quotes, you just put the text you want to write out. So hello world that's pretty standard for programming. First program you ever write, hello world is pretty standard. And then in Eclipse, the nice part of Eclipse is you can run and test programs without having to build them and run and save the file. You can just run it right off the workspace. So run, we'll hit run, and we'll see right down here, hello world. and it sent the text to the console. Now, Java is an object-oriented programming language, and it's more for building applications than just writing code and scripts and whatnot. So you'll notice that some of the things that just like console printing and stuff are a little more difficult in Java than they are in like C++. Like C++, is the same thing, but it's saying C out, hello world. That would be C++, and it's a little simpler because instead of having to do the system print, you have to, you can just add extra strings and stuff. It's simpler than Java. But anyway, we also notice too with Java there's a lot of things that are a lot simpler and a lot easier, and they just work better, and it's more written for more applications, so it just works better. So anyway, that is your first Java program, and I think I should kind of explain some of these things here. In your main, you'll see these words. These are called keywords. Public, right, for your class, then class, and the name of your class. You'll see these curly brackets, right? That means that everything inside these curly brackets is a part of my first class. Does that make sense? And then public just means it's available to everybody. And then class is just a type definition. It says it's a class. And the same here. We're going to ignore the static for a minute. I'll get to that a little bit later. But public, same thing here. Public. And void means there's no return type. We'll get to that a little bit later. Main never has a return type. In C++ it does, but anyway. In Java it doesn't need it. And then these are your string arguments. And we'll get more into that later, what those are and what variables are and whatnot. And then you have your curly brackets here, encasing what's in the program. And that is your first simple program. And thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please post, and I'll post another video soon. Thank you.